Well, some people believe that the opposition hasn't given this party a chance, and that, it's taken a while for the party to be able to feel its way around, and that this particular administration is finally settling down to things. Take, for instance, the power sector. There seems to be some optimism. In fact, from what we gather, some people are already reporting improvements in that particular sector. And that, given time, they will do just what they need to do in terms of improving the lives of the people. Lives of the people.
I'm surprised, Bob, you said that the opposition hasn't given this government a chance. What do you mean by that? 14 years is not enough chance for someone to prove himself? I mean, a child of 14 years, you should be able to know how he looks like, what he looks like, and what direction he's going to take. If you don't know that by then you either have a problem or the kid has serious issues. I mean, the opposition has never been even given a chance to oppose. I think it's more appropriate than saying that the opposition has never given this government a chance. And this is not a new government. This is a PDP government. That's what they said, right? PDP has been ruling from 1999. Regardless of all the letters flying between the ex-president and the current president, they're all birds of the same feather. And this current administration has been in this government from 1999. It has been part of a deputy governor to a vice president to a president. I mean, how else can you progress within a political party?
But they're not all the same thing.
Don't talk to me about chances, because they have had enough chance to prove themselves, and they have failed woefully. And if we
Well,
if the opposition is not giving this government a chance, I think there's a catastrophe waiting to happen.
All right, okay. Another thing that you should also be talking about now, Ismaeel, is it seems to us that you have also taken those that have failed woefully into your own party, because if you believe that 1999 and just apart from yourself and some couple of few people in that party, almost everyone, if not everyone, were once upon a time a member of the PDP. So they were part and parcel of those who failed us as a people and as a nation woefully for almost 14 years, and now they are with you. So how do you change them if you can't change a 14-year-old child? Now you want to change maybe a 40 or 60-year-old man into something brand new. So how do you hope to achieve all of that? Because if you look at the headlines now, sorry, just a moment here, let me look at the Daily now. There's a particular headline here that talks about your party, and it says, the APC presidential tussle may tear APC apart. So I was thinking that these are some of the things you should put into perspective and see how you can move on as a party.
First of all, I never said that you cannot change a 14-year-old kid. I just said that if you don't know what a 14-year-old kid looks like, then you have issues. This government has had enough chance, a 14-year chance to be precise, to show whether it can do this job or it cannot do this job. And then you and I both know that it can do this job. It has failed woefully, either out of incapacity or unwillingness, or out of sheer wickedness to rob this country of its potentials. That is a discussion for another day. But let me tell you why, as a political party, constitutionally and ideologically, we cannot close our doors to people who are coming in. Even in the PDP, in some states, like my state, for example, of Kano, the current governor, Dr. Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso, the PDP in 2011 won their election because of him. He didn't win because he was a member of the PDP. The PDP won because they had him as a candidate. Now you have snippets of people like that who are extraordinary. You can't take that away from them. These are wonderful people. They belong to a political party, yes, that is not so sterling, because I remember the campaign slogan of President Jonathan in 2011 is that vote for him, not for his party, because he was an amiable, humble man who would do right by Nigerians, who came from a background that it's humble and who understood the feeling of an ordinary Nigerian. It wasn't because of the party. They, as much as possible, tried to discard the party itself and promote the individual. So in the APC, what we are trying to do is to create a political environment where whoever comes into that political environment will be affected by that environment and do as we want Nigerians to understand that government can be for the people and deal with issues with them. So we open our doors, everybody should come in, but there are certain guidelines and there are certain environment that we're setting up structures for, and then everybody will have to abide by them.
I'm happy that you're making this distinction between, the individuals and the party itself, because much as you try to, talk about the PDP being in power since 2000, beg your pardon, since 1999 till this moment, you've also been able to say that there are individuals who've distinguished themselves. This administration has complained in particular of the opposition not being fair to it. And it's also, said given time, it will do what it needs to do. What I'm trying to point out to you is that from the feelers we're getting, even here on Twitter, talking about something as critical as power, people are already beginning to report some changes. I mean, it's not widespread, but it's there nonetheless. Are we not a little too fast
I'm not impressed by that. I think I've always said something. I've always said that once the rainy season comes in, I'm not a technician, I'm not an engineer, I don't know a lot about electricity, but I do know that since I have been an adult, and which has been more than 10 years ago, I have known that once it's the rainy season, through to December and January, when the dams are still full because we operate in hydropower electricity stuff, the lights are usually improve. Electricity usually improves all across the country. If you want to talk to me about improvement in electricity, talk to me in March, in April, when it is heat, when it is the dry season, when the dams have gone down, and tell me that you have put on structures. And when I see an incredible improvement in electricity, then I will say that this government has improved. But for now, I think it's the usual. It happened in 2013, in 2012, in 2011, during the Obasanjo years, and so many other times. There's always an improvement. There's always an uptick of electricity during after the rainy season towards December into January. It's always been like that. But talk to me during the dry season in March, in April, in May, and then I'll tell you that yes, there has been an improvement. But before then, I'm keeping my fingers crossed.
Ismaeel, I'm definitely going to be reminding my producers about that conversation, especially in the light of the president's promise, I believe, that there will be some reasonable belief, a reasonable improvement in, provision of steady power supply before the middle of this year. But what are your hopes for 2014? Do you have any hopes?
The president promised that he was going to surprise Nigerians in 2013.
What are they?
I don't know if he did.
Okay, what
was that? Come again?
We're out of time on this one, but we have people who are commenting about your party, but one says, well, APC is the party of the aggrieved. The other says, look, they wonder how the APC will handle opposition themselves, since they see a lot of insults and abuses, but who knows? Well, I guess we'll bring this up much later. I think Marco will do well to remind our producers. But we want to thank you for coming on this morning. Ismaeel Ahmed is the chairman of the All Progressive Youth Forum. Thank you for joining us today from our studios in Abuja.
Thank you. Thank you very much.